One Georgia lawmaker hoping cooler heads will prevail in this wake of the weekend's assassination attempt of the former president. Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff says there is a continued threat to national security as long as what he called an era of hate-filled politics persists. Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn spoke one-on-one with Senator Ossoff about how to find a peaceful path forward.
Today, Senator Jon Ossoff told me the level of hatred and division in American politics right now, he said that's the #1 threat for national security. He said cooler heads must prevail.
The assassination attempt on former President Trump, this is an absolutely horrific turn of events.
Senator Jon Ossoff today in Northwest Georgia condemned the violent acts from over the weekend and said he's relieved the former president was not more severely harmed. He said we may have strong differences of opinion, but said there's no place for political violence.
We got to step back from the brink, recognize that we're all Americans, we're all human beings. We rise or we fall together.
Senator Raphael Warnock also preached peace during his Sunday sermon at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta.
It's not about red and blue. This is not about right and left. This is about right and wrong. And the violence we saw yesterday is wrong.
With the Republican National Convention underway in Milwaukee and with Georgia once again set to be a battleground state in November's election, I asked Senator Ossoff about upgrades and security measures at campaign events. Will you prepare differently for large campaign events? Does what happened this weekend raise the stakes?
It's absolutely a fair question for you to ask, and I'm just going to respectfully decline to comment on those kinds of security procedures.
As you heard the senator staying tight-lipped on his security protocols moving forward. In Midtown, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Major developments and players at the Republican National Convention. We expect Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene to take the stage tonight. Atlanta News First wants to keep you in the loop all night long and all week long. You can always text RNC to the number on your screen. That's 470-777-WANF. And we'll send you a link with everything you need to know.